What would happen if Black women stopped giving their bodies away to men who truly did not earn it? This isn't about shame, this is about strategy. And once you hear this breakdown, you may never move the same again.
If he's not willing to get down on one knee for you, don't you open up two knees for him. So you should show commitment before you get access to this mother of civilization and this queen. And that if women would say no, I guarantee you there'll be a whole lot more holy matrimony and covenant connections and sacred unions going on. Sisters, I promise you, if you really knew your value, you would stop giving men discounts. If you really knew your value, you come off that clearance rack and get back behind the glass where the real valuable stuff is at. You know, when you go to a store, the clearance rack got stuff. You got a large hanger with a medium shirt, and pants don't fit this outfit, and stepped on stuff a few times. But whenever you behind the glass, we was getting my wife's ring serviced, and there was a sign on there that said, "We are only allowed to show you one of these in this glass at a time." And I asked him, I said, "Why is that?" He said, "Because of how valuable they are, we don't want to take the risk of being distracted and somebody being able to have two or three and they take one and we don't realize that it happened." That's the same way that our women have to be. Just like the valuable ring or bracelet could only be looked at one item at a time, you should have in your mind as a woman that, look, if I'm the only one you looking at and considering right now. And if I'm not, then you know, I'm gonna have to move on.
Let's talk about this. Can y'all really peep how Cam Newton is very got his hand on his shirt, on his on his chin. He is like, "Sir, I don't want to hear this. Black women don't have no value. I'm going through baby mamas and women and side chicks with the roll of a dice." You know what I'm saying? But let's get into it. So I truly enjoyed this video clip from Cam Newton's Funky Friday. And I feel like who better to hear this than Cam Newton with his colorful past. But let's talk about it. So I want to get into 5 things that would truly change if and when Black women understand the value that they have in their femininity, the value that they have in closing their legs, and the value that they have in just being a Black woman walking this earth. Okay, let's get into it. Number 1, it would be a total shift in the courting process. Like, think about it. If and when, and I have to say if and when, I'm not going to say if because I feel super confident that there's going to be a shift, if you will. I don't know why I feel this because I truly don't see nothing that actually speaks to this or that it actually will happen. But I guess it's just like a deep yearning for me for young girls to go less sexy red, more Angela Bassett, you know, less kind of Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, no tea, no shade, and let's go maybe more Ayanna Van Zant. I don't know. But I feel like there is a shift that I am desiring with women, but specifically my Black sisters. I feel like there's a shift coming. And if we kind of listen to what this man is saying in this clip, that is possible. So again, number 1, a shift in male effort and courtship. I was having a conversation Friday with a good friend, a guy friend, single guy, tall, attractive, good job, you know, just a good Black man. And he was telling me that he was listening to some of my episodes and how he had a list of just awful experiences that he's had with Black women, you know, them wanting to pay for your nails, pay for your kids, do all types of kind of crazy stuff. This one guy told me recently that he was talking, good guy, good Black single eligible man, was saying how in his experiences in dating women, they bring up sex and, you know, wanting a big Black before he does. And I've heard a lot of men say this, and I feel like women, like, what are we doing? Is this actually happening in the dating world? Is this actually a conversation? His specific conversation is he was wanting to get to know this young lady, and she asked him, "How big is it?" This was the first conversation. And so I'm starting to hear this more and more with like a lot of the Black men that I talk to. And at first I'm thinking, okay, y'all lying. But then I'm like, everybody can't be lying, right? Think about what this man said in this clip. If it's that easy to get, where does the courtship come into play? When it comes to courting, nowadays, it's really not existent the way I would like to see it, right? Imagine if a man truly felt as though he had to earn access to you, actually court you. If that was the general consensus among Black women, not how big is it, how long is it, what you gonna pay for, like, let's put that to the back. But if we had a pattern of you have to court me, okay, before I even imagine opening my legs to you or inviting you to my home or whatever you deem to be of value, that would be a huge turning point in the way Black women show up, the way Black love shows up, and the dating process. So number one, I feel as though courting would really be a thing. I don't know if courting even exists in the in the grand theme of dating. Does courting even still exist? A lot of men feel like they don't have to do that because they have access from day one to Black women. And I'm saying Black women because, y'all, I'm not gonna keep saying that. Y'all the audience, we know what it is. There is a casual hookup culture that is really becoming super popular in our culture, and I'm really not here for it. I do believe that number one, the courting process would shift. I think that men would actually make efforts in courting women more than just, let's have a conversation, come on over, let's get it popping. You know what I'm saying? If courting was reintroduced, it would also usher in accountability, romantic standards, and like a mutual respect in the relationship from the get-go. But if men are feeling like they don't even have to court you, and if women are feeling like courting isn't required, then where does your value come into play? You know what I'm saying? So number one, it would make a shift in effort and courtship standards, number one. Number two, let's breeze through these. Number two, some men might step up and then some men might opt out. Now, what do I mean by that, you might ask? Now, in this vision I have for Black love, for Black community, nobody's going to be perfect. No culture is perfect. Don't let people lie to you and make it seem like, there's only, hoes in the Black community. It's only, this is our culture. It's not. There's 304s everywhere, child. There are 304s in every culture. It's not just Black culture. But specifically with the Black culture, specifically in the Black culture, there's never going to be, oh my God, we're just angels and fairies walking around and we're all just doing things the perfect way. There's always going to be a group of people who don't want to align. There's always going to be a group of men who are going to be the dusties who don't want to court you. There's always going to be a group of men who just want what they can get. Like, that's just life. That's how it always will be. But one of the things, if we start putting value between our legs, child, we will be able to quickly take the men out who don't want to step up and bring the men forward who do want to step up. And what's going to happen is, in my opinion right now, right, wrong, or indifferent, men are seeing that it oftentimes is quite easy to get over to a girl's home and knock boots without any type of courtship or the woman valuing herself enough to make the man earn it. And so if men are understanding that, hey, I'm a good guy, but my good guy antics aren't really working, so let me just go ahead and go over here with some of the dusties and the dogs and just try to see what I can get without putting any work forward. You know what I'm saying? But I think what's happening is that those men, I feel like, here's the thing. They always say a good girl gone bad, but I believe in the conversation that a good guy goes bad. So many men that I be talking to be like, you know what? I try to show up with flowers. I try to, court. I try to do these things and she wasn't with it. Or like in the first example, she was wanting me to pay for her hair and nails before our first date. Or she was wanting me to do like these outlandish things. Or she wanted to know how big my member was before I even know her last name, child, or met her kid or met her family or whatever, So at the end of the day, men, there's a certain narrative and a certain like culture and a certain epidemic of good men turning bad, in my opinion. If men are seeing that the nice guys are not winning, women are wanting thugs, women are wanting men who are just gonna like come up and throw a few dollars at them as long as they bend over, if that's what's winning, do you not think that that's going to convert some of the good guys to turn down that road too? So number two, I feel like if we start to put value in ourselves, in our bodies, in our vaginas, ladies, let's just keep a thing, then we will be able to quickly filter out the men who really want to put in the work and see value in you, and the men who just want a quick little 1, 2, 3, they will 1, 2, 3 exit out the door. You know, I think a conversation of self-esteem has to come up to play in this conversation, because if you truly have high self-esteem, if you truly value yourself as a person, like let's take sex out of it, but if you truly value yourself as a person, why would you be so easy to give up the box, child? You know, I hate that word, I hate that term, but at the end of the day, why would you be so quick to give up the box? Why? You know? Also, why would you be so quick to like really beat up Cardi B and Sexy Red's asses and kind of follow what they're saying and what they're doing? If that's the culture, if that's what you follow and mimic, then you have to be prepared for what kind of man that's going to attract. Value the box. And that kind of leads me into number 3. If we start valuing ourselves, walking in our soft femininity, requiring certain things, and I want to put emphasis on this, because I feel like a lot of people now, especially in Black love culture, Black dating culture, podcast culture, when people hear women say that a man has to step up to the plate, I don't want people to automatically think that it's financial. I think that this 50-50 conversation, buy my nails, pay for my sitter, buy me a big 5-course meal before I even know you, that has truly overshadowed what men think women truly want. And I also think in the same breath, that's truly overshadowed what women think they should be asking for. Hence, my video. I did a video, and I may have to run it back because y'all, you know, this was when I was first coming up on the YouTube scene, but I did a video like maybe last year about the true definition of a provider. And a provider is not simply just someone that has a large bank account. And what is happening and what I can speak to is that, and I said this before, a lot of women are getting it mixed up on what truly matters. A man with money versus a man with moral character. A man who can buy you a bag versus a man who's going to treat the waiter nice. A man who can, you know, get your nails and hair done if you give up the sex versus a man who's going to pour into you, have a vision for your family. All these things, these are more valuable than a man making 6 figures, if you ask me. Now let's keep it a buck, child. I will never say that I don't want me a man that has 6 figures. And I'm not going to say that that doesn't exist, because most men that I've ever dated, husband, fiance included, have been 6-figure earners. So it's not a thing that don't believe the hype that these men do not exist. But also we have to change this narrative of, oh, he got to buy me. No, girl, it don't work, honey. It don't work. Trust me. I have been down those roads. Okay. It don't work. Great to have financial security. Great to have a man that, you know, that's making the bank. But at the end of the day, what I will always say is that longevity in a relationship matters. Sustainability in a relationship matters. That is invaluable to me, and it should be invaluable to you. Would you want a man who can just buy you a bag, but you're going to date him and then he's going to be cheating on you 2 months later? Or do you want a man who might not be at 6 figures? Maybe he's at 75, 50. Wait, 75, 500, and maybe he has a plan, and maybe he's going to pour into you and be able to fix shit around the house and be able to lead you and your family, honey. That's what I would prefer over a man who makes a lot of money and got a big house and a nice car. Those are great things that I can touch, that are tangible. But at the end of the night, when I'm coming home or when I'm getting off work and I'm stressed out about something that's happening to me, can you pour into me and be my peace and my safe space? That's more important to me. And so I just veered off, child. I don't know which number I was on, but number 4, I think, number 3 or 4. Speaking about valuing ourselves as women, I think what will also come with that, number 4, will be greater self-worth, higher confidence, and greater emotional health. And here's the thing. If you're a woman who doesn't require a lot, doesn't value the box, doesn't allows a man to have quick access to your body, you have to understand that all those men coming in and out, in and out, in and out, they're leaving residue. And I don't mean that type of residue, child. I mean spiritual residue that is affecting your mental standards, your mental capacity. If Black women as a whole stop picking men based on vibes or physical attraction, and more on a mutual investment in each other, I definitely think that their mental health would be up higher for women and for men as a result, but for women specifically, because when a man has access, when different men have access in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out of your body, in and out of your door, that is leaving a dirty residue mentally inside your body. And again, I think this will allow women to start prioritizing mental health, emotional stability, safety, long-term compatibility, and it will kind of stop the revolving door of men in and out, men and out. Again, this is what will happen when we start to value our boxes. And again, I'm saying that because y'all love these little gross terms. I'm gonna call it a vagina, okay? Number 5, and the last one in my quick little 5 things that'll change when women start to value themselves and walk into their femininity and reduce the access of the boxes, honey. These single mother trends and situationships, the numbers will start to look good in our favor. Okay. I want to kind of stick with like situationships. So we all know based on conversations that we have quite often on these podcast platforms, that the numbers are not in our favor. High in single mothers, high in obesity, high in divorce rates, high in being single, period. And here's the thing. 2 incomes in a household will get you further than one. Now, it's funny because I've heard some people, this argument I'm still trying to wrap my head around, and I don't know if I'm there yet. But I'll even, I've heard some men say that, okay, if a man is making like $40,000 and you make like $150 or let's say $100,000 a year, having that extra $40,000 is better than just having your little $100,000. Now that I'm not there yet. I don't know if I agree with that, child. That's a bit much. Basically saying that $140,000 is better than just $100,000. I'm not there yet. But this conversation of situationships and that being an actual thing and that kind of supporting the numbers not working in our favor, I don't even want situationships to be a word in our Black language anymore. I think about damn Cheyenne Bryant, her 5-year situationship while being on platforms trying to empower Black women the whole time you're a whole booty call. Like, that to me is a statistic. That to me is nothing or nobody that I want speaking to my daughters. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be out here in one breath trying to big up Black women and telling them that they need to do this and do that the whole while you're getting your back blown out by a dude that's 10 years younger than you and don't even want to wife you. Like, make it make sense, But if sex was intentionally withheld until commitment was aligned, clear, unplanned pregnancies and like ambiguous relationship statuses would not be a thing as it is now. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Unplanned pregnancies and this allure of ambiguous relationships, aka situationships, that would not be a thing. It would be a thing, but it wouldn't be a thing up on the top of the ladder of the totem pole. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I do think that we would see a drastic reductions in, single parent households, as well as this whole idea of situationships versus marriages versus relationships. I think that those numbers would drastically change for the better. This would lead to stronger family culture. This would lead to better co-parenting, less emotional baggage, less emotional turmoil. And these things always lead to a road of unclear relationship boundaries, unclear relationship statuses, and that becomes a revolving door of going nowhere, getting older and older and nothing to show for it but a bunch of notches on your belt, a bunch of notches on your bedpost, okay? At the end of the day, I do think that if sex was more intentionally withheld, it would totally help with these numbers that do not work in our favor, and it would also help to mitigate this whole conversation of situationships at our big ages, okay? At the end of the day, this isn't just about sex. This is about self-worth. This is about power. This is about empowerment. This is about legacy for Black people. I love the idea of legacy. I love the idea of breaking generational curses. I love the idea of beautiful Black families being the norm. I love that idea. And I think that with more conversations like this and more accountability of what's reality is versus what it should be, I think that we can get there. I feel like when Black women start moving with intention, standards, self-respect, it's going to be a ripple effect in the community. You know, it's funny because I do greatly agree and believe that men are the leaders, men are the head. But when it comes to these relationship dynamics, I do think that it has a direct impact on our Black men's ability and place as leaders in our culture. So listen, if nobody's told you today, honey, you are the prize. That box is a prize. That body is a prize. Your home address is a prize, okay? Close your legs to married men. I'm joking, but close your legs, honey. Close them up. Close up them legs and open up self-worth, self-gain. Make it a little bit harder. Shit should not be easily accessible. It'll make your value go up, and this will be a ripple effect in the Black community. I believe that it's coming. I truly believe that it's coming. I just think we have to kind of change the conversation, and instead of all this finger pointing, hey, here are some ways that I'm hoping will be helpful to help you understand how you should move in the culture, how you should move in dating, how you should move when it comes to someone of the opposite sex. This is not only for Black women. I want Black men to listen to this as well. And instead of having these think pieces where we're tearing Black women down, we should have these think pieces where, you know, hey, Black man, Black brother, if you come into a sister who's so easily ready to give it up, as a leader in the community, hey, talk to her and be like, listen, sister, you know, I'm really feeling you, but, you know, you're just so easy. You're making this so easy for me. Like, fight back or something, you know? I don't know, y'all. Listen, at the end of the day, let's get the conversation started in the comments below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's make this channel go viral. Let's make this conversation go viral. And I will see you in the next episode.